Hello everyone. I'd like to start my introduction first. My name is Sanghyun. I'm a VoIP client engineer in the line development team, and I'm working on the call platform for free calls and group calls of the line. It's nice to meet you all. I'm sure you are all familiar with the line call services, right? Oh, yes. Oh, thank you very much. I used it every May when I was working in development, of course, on a daily basis. But after I got married, I almost stopped using it, or I cannot use it anymore. In my case, I used it mainly just for voice calls, but this year, that has completely changed. I used it all day at work, and I'm also using it for Japanese study myself. The call service has become a very important communication tool for me as well as for you. And I'm sure the same is true for you. Today, I'd like to give a presentation on the subject of call platform service triggered by COVID-19. I will explain just briefly about the contents in my presentation. Today's presentation consists of 4 major parts. First, I'd like to talk about how the new COVID-19 virus has affected LINE's call services like free calls and group calls, and how we responded it. In order to improve the quality of our LINE call services, we are doing some improvement work, which we will discuss later separately. In the next section, I would like to introduce the Planet, which is a platform for developing the call services. From now on, not only LINE, but also a variety of other services will be in need for call services. Therefore, we have a platform based on the technology and experiences of LINE call services we have developed so far. We also want to introduce the general features and the interface about Planet. The last part is about the future plans for LINE call services. We will begin our presentation with the statistical indicators of the LINE call services before and after the COVID-19 and our improvement work. Since COVID-19, LINE's service index has increased in general, probably because of the various types of communication services that LINE provides to its users. In the case of LINE's calling services, the indicator has also increased. In the case of video calls, indicators such as call count, active user, and the call duration have increased significantly compared to last year. Among them is this one, which represents the monthly minutes of free calls or one-on-one video calls on LINE services. It's gone up since the beginning of this year, and in May it almost doubled compared to last year. So, how did group video calls fare? This was especially surprising in the case of group video calls. Call times have exploded, almost 14 times, more than at the beginning of this year. So incredible, isn't it? It has maintained at about 4 to 5 times increase by then. I think this is because LINE group video calling is not only used for daily communication, but also for teleworking and remote education, and etc. This indicator is a testament that the need for the call service as a tool for non-face-to-face communication is so great. We have had a very busy time responding and meeting to these demands of our users. We have released new features, improved the quality, and addressed the stability of the operation. I would like to show you how we did it all. We have updated the LINE application to support not only for communication with friends and families, but also for diverse types of communications. First of all, we have expanded the participation limit for group calls from 200 to 500 people. Thus, online communication with as many as 500 people is now available and possible. And while previously the maximum number of people on screen in a group video call was 4 for mobile application, but this has been expanded to 6 for smartphones and 9 for iPads. At the same time, group communication has become more user-friendly because you can see more faces. It's enjoyable. In May, we released a service called Watch Together. Watch Together is a new feature that allows everyone to share their phone or computer screen or watch a YouTube video together during a group call. This feature was released in response to the current situation where group communication has become more active since the implementation of infection control measures. To make it more convenient and enjoyable for users to communicate with the group. Even if we are far from each other, you can still enjoy the feeling of being together online. We recently launched a service called LINE Meeting. Until now, in order to open a group call, you had to create a talk using the LINE application and invite all users to the call or to the talk. If you use LINE Meeting, you don't have to create a separate talk. You can just access it through a URL and make a free video call with up to 500 people. The organizer can share the URL issued by the LINE application and invite others to join. Participants can easily join a group call by simply clicking on the URL. This can be very useful not only for business meetings, but also for online dinners or when organizing everyday gatherings. It's really convenient. Since the end of February, there have been many discussions on how to conduct video conferencing and online classes via PC. As we saw this situation, we launched a screen sharing feature on the PC version ahead of our schedule. We tried to keep the image quality at the highest possible HD so that we could share content on the PC, for instance, reporting and class content and etc. We also started offering a background effect feature that allows you to set a virtual background. You don't need to show your real room to the person who you are calling to enjoy the video call. The explosive spike in usage would mean that the server loads had been increased so much that it was an unprecedented increase. It was really unprecedented increase. We have been adding lines and servers, and the rate of increase has been very fast in a short period of time. The simultaneous video call count increased more than 16 times in just 1 month, and almost 30 times in 5 weeks. This led to a spike in traffic as well.
Especially, there was a time period the traffic was doubled in a week, and again doubled in the following week. As we could not tolerate more than limitation, we had to consider for connectivity restriction. However, we improved the system to process all the users' calls without restricting connectivity. Performance of equipment should be maximized, and we improved the load balancing. And if resource exceeds a limitation in a data center, users in a certain country were distributed to another data center for processing. And we improved the system so that we can distribute the traffic with external public cloud. And also at the peak time, limited service configuration was changed from server so that we can process more users' requests. With this operation in place, we were able to offer call service in a stable manner without user problems in this time period. Now, let me discuss quality. As for the improvement activity on quality, audio, video, network, device, there are all the aspects that can impact on quality. Those were regarded as target. As I show what aspects can impact on quality of line call services, I'd like to explain the improvement activities. First of all, it's about the voice quality. We are providing audio quality better than HD for mobile and full HD for desktop in line. And in audio quality, it is voice quality enhancement, or VQE, that impacts significantly on voice quality. Especially in group call environment, VQE technology is very important. The reason is that during group tool, one participant may impact on the entire group participants. First of all, environment around call, there can be external noise that can be mixed up through microphone. And also, voice from speaker can be entered into microphone and echo may be generated. And also participants' voice can be mixed in server, and small echo and the noise of participants could cause inconvenience. Therefore, we had to reduce the voice properly, otherwise voice quality can be degraded. Therefore, VQE technology is very important. And among them, one of them is noise suppressor technology, is what I'd like to touch upon. In the case of noise suppressor, there is an environmental limitation. Hardware noise suppressor may be in use. Performance of each device varies, which is a problem. And as for software noise suppressor, operating system does not support multi-mic input. It's difficult to fully subdivide the noise. So we continued research to overcome noise suppressor limitation. And we came up with meaningful results. MLNS, multi-level noise suppressor, is what we got. MLNS is a machine learning technology, and to overcome software noise suppressor's limitation, resulting in very high performance. At present, we are preparing to release it, and we expect to offer user experience with even better voice quality. For example, during video call, there must be a case where you need to respond to a message you get on another task. Typing noise can be interference, but such a noise can be perfectly removed. Next, let me talk about the video and network. Mobile device has improved its performance drastically for the past several years. By so doing, in line call service, mobile can have up to HD and the desktop can have up to full HD supported. And as for line group video call, there is a scalable video coding technology we adopted. A certain user's video needs to be output in different environment with corresponding resolution in group video call. For example, full HD video encoded with desktop has high bitrate. Therefore, if it is sent to mobile environment in poor network situation, it cannot be done. However, minimum quality service wouldn't be accepted. One of the methods to resolve this issue is to have server transcoding. Client has is encoding at maximum quality and transmit that to server, and on server, it is transcoded at the bitrate depending on its environment. However, if it is encoded in server, it has to be decoded. And afterwards, if it's going to be encoded at a different bitrate, many times it is very inefficient. Therefore, large-scale real-time communication service would not be suitable for real-time communication services. Therefore, we are adopting scalable video coding technology. With this technology, encoded source bit stream is generated in multi-layer rather than single layer. On server, information in bitstream packet is verified, and low video quality means that the base layer can be filtered and transmitted, and in the case of high video quality, more layers can be transmitted. Compared with transcoding, server load is drastically reduced. However, for scalable video coding, compared with a single layer encoding, it requires higher device performance. Therefore, there can be a performance issue of devices. In order to resolve such a performance issue, we are adopting hybrid codec, a video coding system. We are leveraging software codec and hardware codec benefits. By eliminating maximum overhead, we can generate a stream in an efficient way, and in screen sharing mode, codec behavior is different from general mode. Therefore, in screen sharing to be supported, we had to improve codec. How can we decide what is the layers that are suitable to users' network environments?
It is possible with a technique for estimating bandwidth called CCFS. To explain briefly how it works, CCFS receives feedback periodically for every packet it transmits. Based on this, it estimates network state in real time. If the network state is stable, it will probe if more bit rates are available. On the other hand, when network congestion occurs, it reduces the bit rate, or if there is a packet loss, it generates FEC packets. It adjusts the media bit rate like voice and video based on the estimated bandwidth in this way. Client encodes and transmits with max quality to match the bandwidth that it is estimated from CCFS. The same is true for the server. Depending on the feedback with each other, the bandwidth is estimated, and the layer with the best quality possible is selected. Besides, in a group call, there will be multiple users on the screen. So the server will divide the estimated bandwidth accordingly and distribute it. We have improved such distribution algorithms to provide a better quality. As I explained earlier, there has been a surge in demand for line call service since COVID-19 hit. But what about the other services then? I don't think it's any different with other services. There have been a lot of changes in our living environment due to COVID-19, and our services have had to adapt to these changes as well. I think there will be a growing demand to develop call services not only for everyday communication, but also for such as business, education, and medicine, and law, and so on. So then, what kind of technology is needed to develop a call service? In general, the development of a service requires many technology stacks of different domains. VoIP is a technology area for real-time communications like one-to-one calling or group calling, and etc. However, without experienced developers, build-up is not easy. It requires a lot of experiences with VoIP, including understanding of media like voice and video, as well as network-related technologies. You also need to be prepared for infrastructure to be able to handle large-scale traffic. We must also continue to pay attention to quality. Such a task will be very difficult. In service development, it is a hurdle. How can you minimize the development cost and integrate a call service into your service quickly? Can you develop a call service with the same quality as line call services? Can you secure an infrastructure that can handle large traffic and operate stably and safely? To solve such difficult problems, we have prepared a platform. The platform is Planet. The Planet takes the difficult tasks we talked about earlier, and it does instead of us. The service can provide users with a call service based on VoIP technology through several interfaces in the Planet stack. You can also integrate the call service into your service quickly with minimal cost to do so. So let's take a look at the Planet interface now. Planet's interface is composed of two main components. On the client side, the application client must interact with the client SDK called PlanetKit. On the server side, the application server must link to a callback from the Planet Cloud. PlanetKit is a client SDK, which supports the SDK for the client's various service environments to make Planet available on mobile, PC, and the web. With the exception of the web, PlanetKit is based on the same core and provides APIs in the appropriate languages for development on each platform. For example, you can develop in Swift on iOS and Kotlin on Android. The PlanetKit SDK provides a basic API to work with application client. Actually, this is a piece of code from the PlanetKit sample application. How do I make a phone call? When you call the API called make call, a phone call is made. Thereafter, the action generates an event which allows you to work with the UI. It's that simple. In addition, of course, we also provide APIs for various functions. For example, you can communicate the data of an application or share the context of a service. Using these features, you can develop call features for various applications. Planet Cloud provides protocols and various functions for VoIP services. It is integrated with calls and plays a role to notify with the application server. The application server has to handle two callback APIs for a one-to-one call and one more for a group call. The user registers information to Planet about the application and receives an SLA key to access it. Now, let's talk about the overall integration briefly. This is the one-to-one scenario. Blue represents the Planet domain and gray represents the application domain. First, from the client, you need to register on the application server like a login. Then make a call to Planet Cloud through the PlanetKit SDK. Then a callback called notify will be called from the Planet Cloud to the application server. Then the application server must communicate to the caller that a call has been placed or made. use either APN, FCM mobile push system, or you can use service message channel in the case of PC services.
And the called party will access to receive a call. This was the flow for call connection. As a matter of fact, even before COVID-19, we were preparing the project Planet. Therefore, internally, not only Line apps, there are 3 services adopted and released. And the 4th service is adopting Planet, and we are preparing for launch. In addition to that, we are considering to apply that for other services like this. And there are actual case studies where Planet is in use, and it takes 1 day for Planet integration according to the feedback we got. And I'd like to introduce the actual developers' feedback. The overall development period was about 1 month, and the basic call scenario was developed within 1 day. As the Planet was ready, it was possible to do that. Naturally, in addition to that, there were feedbacks for improvement. As we use Planet internally, developers to build up services give us opinions about the Planet. And we reflected those opinions for the improvement of interface and features. And for fast development of services means that the basic call scenario is not the only case. Planet can integrate call features, and it is technical support that is required, but it also supports application features. Leveraging those features, you can build up a variety of services. On top of that, if you adopt the Planet, high-quality call service just like Line can be offered. Planet development team is making efforts to make further improvement of audio quality. That way you can focus on developing your own services. And as I mentioned earlier, during COVID-19, even if a large-scale traffic was concentrated, there was free of troubles, you can maintain stable services. Last but not least, I'd like to talk about next plan and the vision. We have various plans about line call service and Planet. It is a feature that allows you to generate multi-channel to transmit voice and or video during a group call. In other words, we have a plan to develop multi-channel. In addition to basic channel, different channels can be generated, which means during a video group call, you can transmit only to specify the user. And a service scenario where simultaneous interpreters can participate can be also supported. Next, it is about the collaboration among services based on Planet. Even it is different services, you can connect them. Naturally, permission will be mutually required, and Planet is adopted for internal use at present. And we haven't decided concretely, but we'd like to make it open to public, which is our plan. Line launched the first free call in 2011, and it's been 9 years. At first, audio free call, and then video call, group call. So we launched new services. And after that, we started a planet development. Based on our experience and new technologies, we designed the planet. Since last year, we started to adopt it to line services, and other services internal to us are adopting this. Planet has a baseline for line call service for the past 9 years, and also in the future, line call service will be included in Planet. Now, based on what I mentioned, this is the summary. With the COVID-19, there is a new normal era, and the call services needs as a part of line communication services is going up. And Line would like to provide smooth communication with new feature releases. And we have been engaged in improving quality. And in order to operate a stable service operation, we made efforts. And we will continue such efforts. And line call service technology and experience, which is the basis. And if you adopt the Planet platform, you can easily integrate call service features such as Line to your application. This concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.